keep a great night going with your next comic, Hazel Green Young.
Thank you. I am so glad my boss is in here.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is my third show, and I'm very happy to be here. I have to, I don't know if I haven't confessed to Cam why I keep trying to do these frequently, because I'm just afraid something's going to happen and I won't be able to say all the things I want to say, because I lay awake at night thinking that some aliens are going to break in my house with their space lasers, hook me up to a Dominion machine, and then wash my brain. Now, I know that sounds really crazy, but I'm a Green from Georgia. Maybe it's hereditary. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's from Georgia. But anyway, so I was thinking about doing something like talk about political violence, but that's not usually so funny. The weirdest thing I heard was that the governor of Florida wanted to chuck a small elf over the Potomac River. But that's another story. It didn't make the news much, but you can Google it. So I decided to go with the trend of what's tonight. I'm going to talk about sex. So it's kind of a trigger warning. I guess some places you're supposed to warn people if you might say something that they'll find disturbing. So you've been warned. But anyway, I had a friend who said that whenever somebody would talk about sex, she would lose her appetite. And I thought, boy, that'd be a nice diet if it would work for me. But anyway, I thought, she wouldn't have lasted a week in my house, because our dinner conversations went something like this. This guy came in the emergency room today with a chopstick stuck in his penis. Can you pass the cabbage and sausage? Okay. But I mean, seriously, that's kind of how it is when you're in a medical family. So anyway, but this friend of mine, unfortunately, she didn't live very long, and I don't know if she died of starvation, but anyway. So anyway, going on to what I was going to talk about, a friend of mine was asking me, well, did you give your girls the talk? I said, well, no, there's no talk. It's a series of conversations, as they ask you questions, and you just try and be honest and open with them. So for example, if your son comes up to you one day and says, Mama, what is this between my legs? You don't say pee-pee. You don't say wee-wee. You say, can I get a little help from audience? Penis. Now, was that so hard? Really, seriously. So then your daughter may come up to you at some point and say, Mama, what is this between my legs? And it's another P word. It's pocketbook. Now, if you're not from Georgia, maybe you don't know that. My grandmother calls it a pocketbook. And like I say, women from Georgia, a little bit different. So anyway, when my daughter was about 4 years old, she said, Mama, how did I come into the world? So me being a woman of few words, I said, let me get a piece of paper and a pencil. And so I draw me pregnant, and then I draw the doctor, and then I say, hold on a minute. I go in the kitchen, and I get a pair of kitchen tongs. I said, pretend like these are forceps. So your doctor used the forceps and pulled you out of my pocketbook. So anyway, I had this picture lying around my house, and my neighbor comes by with her daughter, Katie, and that's her name. That's why I'm calling her Katie. So she says, can you not leave these pictures around when my daughter comes over for play dates? And I said, sure. But then at some point, I thought, maybe I need to do something a little more advanced in terms of educating my daughter. So I went to the bookstore and got a book called Isn't It Amazing? Teaching Your Kids About Sex. Now, the first part of the book was really not very interesting. It was kind of like monotonous, anatomy, physiology, biology, kind of like medical school 101. But there were some full frontal nude pictures, but they were kind of like not threatening because they were cartoon drawings. But it showed people as their body as you went through childhood and puberty and everything. And in the book, there was only one thing about sex. And it said that a man and a woman can be lying in the bed and the penis slips into the vagina. So I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said, that doesn't make any sense. It's like you don't have any control. It's like you're walking down Professor Avenue and a penis slips into your Louis Vuitton. So anyway, I noticed that this book that I kept in my room, and to placate Katie's mother, would disappear whenever Katie came over for a play date. Well, I have to say, I think my daughter did a great job teaching her about sex because she's happily married with 2 kids. I think sometimes, though, I overemphasize birth control because I don't have any kids, any grandkids, I should say. So, one thing though, over the years, a couple people said to me, well, why don't you teach my kids about sex? Because I just can't do it. And you seem to be good at that. But I thought that's a little bit creepy talking to somebody else's kids about sex. But times are hard, the economy is struggling, inflation's there. So I decided I'm going to take it up as a second job. I'm going to teach other people's kids about sex. So if any of you want my phone number, I can give it to you, or I can just write on the bathroom wall. 1-800-SEX-TALK. And that's that.